Hola, buenos días. ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Empezamos con la lección de hoy? Let us see what is our today's lesson about. Let's take a situation. A friend says, such a beautiful weather. Looks like it's going to rain today. The other friend may or may not agree and might say, you like this weather? But I'm sorry, I find the rainy weather somewhat bothersome. Similarly, in everyday life, as we grow up, we start having opinions about everything, be it about food, clothes, books, classes, people around us, places, where we stay or where we work, school, colors, mountains, seas, oceans, hills, sun, moon, earth, etc., etc. Think about anything on this earth and we have an opinion about it, right? So to express this opinion, we need specific language and also to listen to what others have to say and understand and identify with their expressions and emotions. Let us take up different situations to understand it in Spanish language. Maria and Juan are in a shop looking at some blouses, deciding the material and colors. Let us see what Maria prefers. Dependiente says, Buenos días, ¿qué desea usted? She's saying, good morning, what would you like to see? Maria says, Buenos días, ¿puede enseñarme algunas blusas, por favor? She says, good morning, can you show me some blouses, please? Dependiente, ¿de qué talla? That is, she's asking, of what size? Maria says, pues la talla 32. She says, well, the size is 32. Juan, in the meanwhile, likes something and shows it to Maria and says, Mira esta blusa de flores, qué bonita, ¿te gusta? He's saying, look at this blouse, Maria, with flowers. How pretty it is. Do you like it? Maria says, she's disagreeing here. So observe how she is disagreeing. She says, no mucho, es de licra. Me gusta más la de algodón. She's saying, not so much. It's made of lycra. I like cotton more. Did you notice? Maria has disagreed with Juan. Juan says, ¿Qué te parece esta blusa azul? He's suggesting another one. What do you think of this blue blouse? Maria is not sure. She says, no está mal, pero prefiero la negra. Es más elegante. She's saying, it's not bad, but I prefer the black one. It is more elegant. Dependiente interrupts and she says, son muy cómodas. She says, they are very comfortable. Maria says, a ver, quiero ver más diseños. She says, let's see. I want to see some more patterns. Did you observe Maria is disagreeing with Juan in the above conversation and gives also her preference. Let us see now another example and check what Sofia is doing. Sofia is in a shoe shop with Diego. She has liked some sandals and wants to try them. Sofia says, a mí me encantan estas sandalias. ¿Qué piensas? She's saying, I love these sandals. What do you think? Diego says, he's agreeing here. He's saying, me parecen de moda. ¿Quieres probártelas? He's saying, I think they are fashionable. Do you want to try them? Sofia says, déjame ver si tienen mi número. Son de buena marca y están hechas a mano. She says, let me see if they have my size. They are of a good brand and are handmade. Here, Diego agrees to what Maria is saying and he finds the sandals stylish or fashionable. Now, let us follow Sofia and see what is she doing after shopping with her friend Maria. Okay, so now Sofia is making plans to watch a movie with Maria. Sofia asks Maria, todavía nos queda mucho tiempo. ¿Quieres ver una película? She's saying, we still have a lot of spare time. Do you want to watch a movie? Maria agrees. She says, sí, vale. Pienso que La La Land es muy buena. La ponen esta tarde. She's saying, yes. Okay. I think La La Land is a very good movie and they are showing it in this afternoon. Sofia says, me parece muy interesante. Tiene muy buenas reseñas y me dan ganas de verla. I find that very interesting. It has very good review and I feel like watching it. In this conversation, Sofia liked the idea and said, how did she agree? She said, me parece interesante. So Sofia and Maria have seen the movie and now Diego is asking Sofia about how the movie was. So here Diego asks, ¿Qué tal la película? That is, how was the movie? Sofia says, me encanta la película. Las reseñas no son muy buenas, pero aún quería verla. She says, I love the movie. The reviews are not very good, but I still wanted to see it. Diego says, telling her, no te fíes de la crítica. Es su opinión. He says, don't trust the critics. It is their opinion. Sofia says, sí, es verdad. She's agreeing. She says, yes, that is true. Now, let us quietly go and see what Juan is doing. Juan wants to buy something for Maria and discusses his idea with Diego. Juan says, ¿Qué te parece el nuevo álbum de Shakira para regalárselo a Maria? He's asking, what do you think of Shakira's new album for gifting it to Maria? Diego responds, he's agreeing here, he likes the idea and he says, me parece una buena idea. A ella le gustan las canciones de Shakira. She says, it seems like a good idea to me. She likes Shakira's songs. Juan says, lo compramos esta tarde antes de volver a casa. He's saying, we will buy it this evening before going back home. Again, we observe that Diego agreed with Juan by saying, me parece una buena idea. Let us take another example. Sofia and Maria are again together and both friends are talking about fashion. Sofia says, me gusta este traje tanto. No tienen mi talla mediana, solo lo tienen de talla pequeña. Quiero adelgazar. Quiero perder 5 kilos de peso. She says, I like this dress so much. They do not have it in medium size. They only have it in small size. I want to lose weight. I want to lose 5 kilos of weight. Maria does not agree with her. With what? And she says, ¿Qué dices? Creo que ya estás muy delgada. ¿Y quieres adelgazarte aún más? No sé por qué. She says, what are you saying? I think you are already very thin. And you want to reduce further? I don't know why. Sofia says, claro, dices verdad. Opino que hoy en día la delgadez de las modelos es extrema. She says, of course, what you are saying is true. I think these days the models are extremely thin. Maria says, pero últimamente hay una novedad. There's something new these days. ¿Sabes? Las modelos de talla grande salen en los desfiles. She's saying, the plus size models are walking on the ramp these days. Did you see Sofia's reaction when Maria says that she needs to reduce? She doesn't agree and says, ¿Qué dices? And presents her opinion with, yo opino que. Now, let us move to another situation. We know that politics is an inseparable part of our lives. Voting is important and we are expected to exercise it responsibly. Let us go to Juan and Diego, who are discussing politics because it is election time. Juan says, "No pienso votar, es que no lo tengo muy claro." He's saying, "I'm not going to vote. I'm not clear about it." Diego doesn't agree to that. He doesn't like the idea. He says, "¿Cómo que no? Si toda la gente piensa como tú y no vota, la democracia dejaría de existir." He says, "Why not? If all the people think like you and do not vote, democracy would cease to exist." Juan says, "Es que todos los partidos me parecen iguales. No me puedo fiar del sistema. Las cosas nada van a cambiar." He says, "All the parties look the same to me. I cannot trust the system. Things will never change." Again, Diego is conveying the opinion about the governmental system and saying that they appear the same, and that is the reason he doesn't want to vote. Now, let's take another example. Let us take you for mobile shopping this time. Diego and Juan have come to the mobile store to buy a mobile phone for Diego. Diego shows a mobile to Juan and asks, "¿Qué te parece este?" What is he asking? "What do you think of this one?" Juan responds, "Es que a mí me gusta Samsung más que Sony." He's expressing his opinion. He doesn't agree with Diego because he likes Samsung phones more than that of Sony. Diego says, "No sé, lo encuentro demasiado grande." He says, "I don't know, I find it too big." He doesn't like what Juan is suggesting. So Juan says, "Demasiado grande? La pantalla es de 5 pulgadas." He says, "Too big? The screen is 5 inches. Diego says, "Sí, y la cosa es que también me parece un poco caro." He is justifying why he doesn't like it. He says, "Yes, and the thing is that I also find it a bit expensive." Juan says, "Desde luego es un poco caro, pero es de buena calidad. Y mira, tiene más novedades que el otro." He says, "No doubt, it's a little expensive, but it's of a good quality, and look, it has more features than the other." Diego says, "A ver, ¿cuánto cuesta?" He says, "Let's see, how much does it cost?" Juan says, $1,500, $1,500. Diego again justifies his decision against it and says, "¿Ves? No es nada barato. ¿Qué te parece?" He's asking, "You see, it's not at all cheap. What do you think?" Juan says, "Bueno, me gusta el de Samsung. Decide tú." He says, "Well, I like the Samsung one. Now you decide." In the micro conversation above, have you observed how people are exchanging ideas and giving opinions? You can also try some on your own, as we have covered many topics from shopping to movies to politics. All right? So, in the conversations, along with verbs like preferir, querer, desear, encantar, gustar, we see verbs like parecer and encontrar too. Let us see how the verb parecer is used. To describe someone's state of being, like for example, to look tired, to look happy, etc., we say parece cansado o cansada, depending on the gender. O we parece contento o parece contenta, depending again on the gender. To say that someone appears or seems to be nice, caring, fun-loving, etc., we would say parece amable, parece simpático o parece simpática, parece divertido, parece divertida. To express an opinion or asking people for their opinion about something, for example, how does it seem to you? It seems to be of good quality. It seems to be boring. They ask, ¿Qué te parece? Informal way of saying. If it is for usted, ¿Qué le parece? The person will respond, Me parece de buena calidad. Or, Me parece aburrido. So, we have already seen some examples above. Here, the verb parecer is conjugated in the third person, and it's important to remember that the verb will take either singular or plural form depending on the number of the object after it. So, ¿Qué te parece? Or ¿Qué te parecen? ¿Qué le parece? Or ¿Qué le parecen? That means indirect object pronoun plus parecer plus que plus phrase. So, indirect object pronouns are me, te, le, nos, os, les. Más parece, that is plus parece, plus una frase o una opinión. So, a sentence or an opinion. For example, me parece que esta señora es la directora del centro. Another example, le parece a Juan que somos argentinos. What is he saying? Juan thinks that we are Argentinians. That means it seems to Juan that we are Argentinians. Here, the verb parecer with the indirect object pronoun means I, he, she, we think, or it seems to me, to him, to her, to us, and then you can use a phrase or a sentence or the opinion. Let us see examples. Indirect object pronoun plus parecer plus adjective. As we mentioned earlier, the verb parecer in this usage is always used in the third person singular or plural depending whether the object after it is plural or singular. So, the example is El coche me parece grande. The car seems big to me. Now, if there are many cars and we use coches instead of coche, which is plural, and we want to say the cars seem big to me, how will we say it? Can you try it? Right. Los coches me parecen grandes. The cars seem big to me. Now let us take another example. ¿Os parece difícil la pregunta? The question seems difficult to you. The plural will be ¿Os parecen difíciles las preguntas? The questions seem difficult to you. See the difference between the singular and the plural. Now keep in mind the plural and singular with parecer in particular. Now that we have seen how the verb parecer is used, can you guess what the verb form parecerse could mean? I will give you one example. Todos dicen que él se parece mucho a su padre. Everyone says he looks so much like his father. So when we want to highlight the similarities between two people, or when you are comparing one person to another, the reflexive form parecerse, which we have already done, is used. The form of the verb is reflexive, but its usage is called reciprocal when it is used for two people or things. In the example above, he looks like his father. Now let us take a look at another example given below. You conjugate the verb parecerse like other reflexive verbs, but the yo form is a little irregular. Here is the verb parecerse for you. Yo me parezco. Tú te pareces? Él, ella and usted se parece. Nosotros nos parecemos. Vosotros os parecéis. Ellos, ellas y ustedes se parecen. You often hear the conversations. ¿A quién se parece tu hija? What is the person saying? Who does your daughter look like? The person responds, mi hija, creo que se parece a su abuela. She's saying, my daughter, I think she looks like her grandmother. The person says, ah, sí. Oh, is it? Todos dicen que mi hermana y yo no nos parecemos en nada. What is the person saying? Everyone says that my sister and I don't resemble at all. Sí, tienes razón. No os parecéis en nada. The other person says, agrees. Says, yes, you are right. You both don't resemble at all. Let us now learn a common saying with parecer in Spanish. Se parecen como dos gotas de agua. They are like two peas in a pod. Means they are same. I hope you understand the difference in usage between parecer and parecerse. From the verb parecer and parecerse, we move on to the verb encontrar. Please go carefully through the following micro conversations. Diego says, ¿Qué te parece la comida española? What is he asking? What do you think about Spanish food? Juan says, La encuentro muy sabrosa. He says, I find it very tasty. Diego says, A mí también. Me encanta la paella y la tortilla. He says, I also think the same. I love the paella and the Spanish omelette. Let's take another small conversation to further clarify it for you. Juan asks, ¿Has visto la nueva película? Have you seen the new movie? Here, Maria responds, La encuentro muy divertida y muy interesante. She's saying, I found it very funny and very interesting. Juan agrees somewhere but disagrees somewhere. He says, Divertida sí, pero interesante? No sé. He says, Funny, yes, but interesting? I don't know. Maria says, Pues a mí me parece muy interesante. She insists that, well, it seemed very interesting to me. From the above conversations, have you been able to deduce the meaning of encontrar? Along with the regular meaning of encontrar that we already know, that is, to find a place, an object, an idea or a thought, to find something metaphorically, or we can see from the above sentences, it is also used for expressing judgments. Like, encuentro el sistema de gobierno injusto. The person is saying, I find the governmental system unfair. Another person says, no lo encuentro tan divertido como dices. He's saying, I don't find it as funny as you do. The verb encontrar takes the direct object pronouns lo, la, los, las as per the gender and number of the object or the topic that you are discussing. I am sure you know that the object pronouns come before the verb. Lo encuentro muy grande. We are talking about el bolso. I find the bag very big. I find it very big. La encuentro muy grande. This time they are talking about something feminine. La silla. I find the chair very big, and the person is saying, I find it very big. Los encuentro un poco grandes. We are talking about los zapatos, that is the shoes. The person says, I find the shoes a little big. Now they are talking about the jackets, las chaquetas. So they say, las encuentro demasiado grandes. I find the jackets too big. We learned some interesting things about the usage of Spanish language, which may be a little different from the language we speak. So you see, we can also learn languages by understanding the similarities or difference between the two languages. Wish you all the best for learning Spanish. We end today's session here. Que descanséis. Ciao, hasta la vista.